Hey, shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops, the great millstone, rule well, peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. Shbachnak, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. And this is a lesson that I want to go into. I'm gonna use this video, a couple of parts of this video. We'll skip through it, and this is just highlighting the trade war between America and China. The first Donald Trump presidential term, he was in a trade war with China, but it didn't go as far as it is now. Okay, I'm gonna name this one. I'm kind of thinking about it. We'll see. In Revelation 18 chapter, I got Revelation 18 chapter, and what came to mind, with the things that are happening with this trade war, and how it's going to affect the American market. It's going to affect the American consumer, but it's also going to affect these merchants. Okay, these in this case, China is going to affect their economy, and they're already taking particular steps to try to circumvent, the different tariffs, as well as they're exposing how all these top brands, from Hermes to Gucci to Prada, this and that and this, they're all made in China, which we knew that, but there's a lot of people that don't know, that think that they're getting some type of foreign designer from France or Italy, whether it's a bag or whether it's a clothing item or glasses, whatever it may be, and paying top dollar when all these goods are made in China. So China just came out with a flex, and that's kind of messing up the market as well. There's a lot of things that are happening. We're moving closer to prophecy. There's Lord's will, I'll touch into it on another video, Lord's will, mañana, about the brain chip. Okay, but let me, like I said, I was going to name this one, let me see, where is it at? Right, in Revelation 18:11, it says, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. So something around, the different merchants of the earth weeping and mourning. And we're starting to see the beginning of that, okay? Because, America needs China and China needs America, okay? Now, China can, sell their goods to other nations, but America is that rich city. There is no other nation like America. And we're going to go to Revelation 18. We're going to read how the nations are going to actually weep and mourn, because when America gets destroyed, there's going to be nobody to buy goods. Okay, let me play a little bit of this. This is fair use, fair use. Let me just make sure it's turned up so you can hear it. There's a lot of subtitles there, but I'll try to skip through the subtitles. We'll just bear with me.
Offering 13% cash back on any purchases from American citizens. And not only that, they're going to give you 280 hours of visa-free entry into China to go shopping.
You see that? China is opening its borders to U.S. citizens and giving them, 280 hours of, like basically you can come into our country to shop, because the Chinese market in these goods, they're actually suffering from these tariffs, because when you put a tax on the American people, when the American people are already destitute, nobody can buy those goods. Okay, so they're trying to find a way to allow American citizens to circumvent tariffs, and and buy the goods, okay? Because China needs America, America needs China, but America is really finished. Let me go to
who produces yoga suits for.
So this is basically, there's a lot of videos circulating of, these individuals in China that are, basically saying, hey, look, we make all these top designer clothing, and you people are buying it. How about you just come straight to us and you just buy it from us? They're scamming you, right?
Home Clothing, who produces yoga suits for Lululemon.
Like Lululemon, the yoga clothing that women, the women, that shit is expensive. The yoga pants and the yoga, the tight clothing, that is super expensive. Socks and yoga mats or whatever, you pay premium dollar, and that's all being, that's all being made in China. Like here it said, Lululemon sells his jacket for nearly $100.
This jacket for nearly $100, but here it only costs you $6 to $5.
See that $6 to $5? It said on the screen $6 to $8 to actually make the jacket. So they're upwards of 80 to 90% profit in the retail industry. Okay, and they're pretty much scamming you American people. So this information is coming out. Okay, let's play a little bit more.
Similar fabric and quality.
There's nothing a Chinese factory can't make. Brooks Brothers, a premium shirt brand from the States, actually produced.
So you got to look at why are the Chinese doing this? Well, of course, the clap back at these tariffs and these American and European, brands, which there was like a, what do they call it? Like a gag order. You couldn't really, there's like a gag order to, the Chinese, they wouldn't tell anybody that this is what they're doing. But now the floodgate is open, because now you're hurting the Chinese economy. These tariffs were to hurt the Chinese economy as well as the American economy. So the Chinese, they're like, hey, look, we can make those goods. We making it anyway. How about you just come to us? To hell with those, those designers.
Most of their products.
Right. It says China reportedly removed confidentiality clause with luxury brand companies. See, so there was a clause that they would keep this on the hush hush. All right, because we all gonna make money, and China was all with it. We gonna make money, but now that these tariffs, are messing up the Chinese as well as the U.S. economy, all right, they're clapping back. Okay, which these trade wars are going to lead to what? Real wars. Okay, what do you go to war with a nation economically before you go physically. When you start hurting their money, all right, hey, it's best believe missiles are gonna be flying. Okay.
China. One of their largest suppliers is actually based in Guangdong in China.
Ralph Lauren, Armani, Nike, Dior, Lululemon, Apple, Michael Kors, Coach, Calvin Klein, Prada, Celine, Swarovski, Adidas, The North Face, Rimowa, Levi's, Burberry, Versace, Chanel, Cartier, Ferragamo, Timberland, Yves Saint Laurent, Victoria's Secret, Puma, Uniqlo, Disney, Max Mara, Givenchy. The producing cost is only 1/10 of its price.
So basically, if you're buying a product for $100, all right, that company, or I should say, if you're buying a product for $100, it only takes $10 to produce that product. So it's pretty much a 90%, all right, gain. Okay.
More than 30 years, we have been OEM factory for most of the luxury brands around the world. Gucci, Prada, Coach.
Yeah, China is the factory of the world. But let's go to Revelation 18. All right, because these nations are going to, cry and mourn because America is the nation that buys the most goods. All right. They could stop selling to America, but their economy is going to hurt as well. Okay. Let's go. Let's start at Revelation 18. Let me start at 9. It says, "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her," right? China became a great nation. Who propped up China? America did. Okay, starting with the wicked elite, the Rothschilds, the wicked elite banking families. They set up China to be the factory of the earth. All right, and all the factory jobs were shipped off to China for cheap labor. And them Moabites, they treat their people like hell. Okay, so it's pretty much slave labor, and then they import those goods back and they sell it to you American people at a premium. Okay, and the leaders, the kings of these different nations, they're in pocket, all right, with America, and they live good while their people suffer. So they're all in bed with each other. Okay, it says, "And live deliciously with her, shall bewail her." Okay, let's look at this word bewail. All right. You got people that China saying, "Hey, come to China, and we'll open the borders for you, so you can bypass these sanctions." Okay, which is ultimately is going to end in a actual war with each other, physical war. That word, kayo.
Strong's G 2799, Clio.
To mourn, weep, lament. Or you already have a lot of business factories in China. They have to shut down. Okay. That's a state of mourning. You making all this money, then all of a sudden overnight you got to shut down. Okay, weeping as a sign of pain and grief for the things signified. All right, of those who mourn for the dead. To weep, and these nations are not going to mourn when those missiles hit because you're dead. All right, they're going to mourn because you're not buying no more products from them. They don't give two shits about you American people. They just want to make sure that debit card and that credit card keeps swiping. All right, so they can keep living good. Okay, and now that these tariffs are hurting, because basically what's going on is to crash all the world economies. This is not just a thing isolated to America. Now America is going to feel the brunt pain because this is where the Most High is going to judge this. The Most High is going to judge America the hardest. But all these tariffs and these trade wars, these proxy wars, they're all set up, order out of chaos to crash all these world governments, all these world economies. To do what? To bring them into a new system. And meanwhile, while the crashing of these economies are happening, simultaneously, what's happening side by side? They're building the infrastructure for the MOTB. They're pushing out where you have Elon Musk with the brain chip. Okay, and he's just one of many companies that are doing these experiments on people, which they've been doing it for years. Now they're just introducing it to the people, and the people are going to be more open to it because it's going to be like a form of salvation, because the economy is crashed. All right, your livelihood is gone, your 401k is gone. All right, migrants have overran your country. All right, there's going to be civil war. Your politicians and your government officials, they're incompetent. All right, there's going to be famine. I went into a lesson yesterday going into the famine. There's also going to be famine of the word. All right, there's going to be major censorship. We're already seeing that. It's going to be like communist China. All right, where everything is controlled, tracked, traced. All right, there's a social credit score. All right, just like you have your credit score, and if you're trying to go and actually buy a house or buy a car or get a loan, it's tied to those particular numbers. Okay, and if you have a low credit score, nobody's gonna lend to you. So if you have a low social credit score, you're not gonna be able to participate in society. Okay, and if you don't have the MOTB, you damn sure not gonna be able to participate in society. This is what Esau believes is gonna be the nail in the coffin. Okay, of controlling the whole society, and he's using Trump. He's using these different leaders. He's using all this confusion to bring in that new system of control, because these people are going to be screaming for it. Okay, it says, "It shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning." Right, because those missiles, they're going to hit America, and the whole world is going to shake. All right, and they're going to actually see the fire come up, the burning come up, I should say. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, "Alas, alas, that great city Babylon," which Babylon means confusion. All right, and this is a great city of confusion in all these major cities, and even in these small towns. I mean, it's pretty much everywhere. You got the Transformers, you got sodomites, you got laying down with animals, you got worshiping of different idols, you got witchcraft, and you got tarot card reading damn near in every block in America. So you can go on YouTube and get your they got live witches. Witches are alive that are reading palms, that are pulling out the tarot cards, and you have people that watch this, that get their spiritual enlightenment from it. They live their life according to those evil practices. All right, and that's okay. The Church of Satan was founded in San Francisco. Okay, it says, let me read it again. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, "Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city." Right, it is a mighty city. It's mighty economically. It's the top economic. It's the top economic city, or you should say, a nation in the world. All right, the strongest military. Not so much now, because we're in the fall, but America is still mighty. Okay, nobody was able to come up against America. Okay, well the grip. America still has a grip on these other nations. Now it's lessening. You have the formation of BRICS, which was that just by these nations got together like, yeah, we need to get, we got to get away from America. You could say something like that, but it was already set up. It was already set up by the wicked elite to do this, because ultimately, when you go into the CBDCs, right? Iran has. Why does Iran have CBDCs if they're not part of this system? Okay. Why does the Koreas have CBDCs? Why do they all have digital currencies? When you go to all these nations, they all have a digital currency. All right, whether they're in a pilot program, they already went through it, or they're implemented on on a certain level. Like you have the digital yuan. China has a digital CBDC that they're already using. So if they hate each other so much, why are they working together on that level? All right, because these nations are all in league with each other, especially when it comes to suppressing the fact that we're the Israelites. They can come together on that for sure. Talked about that in Psalms 83rd chapter. Okay, how they're against us to basically to make the name of Israel no more existence in the world. I'm vaguely paraphrasing. Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So this great, mighty city, America, Babylon the Great, so-called a cities paved with gold, You can come here. You can do whatever you want. You can, you know, establish a business, become a multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire. You can become a boxer. If you can fight good, you can knock people out and become a multi-millionaire. If you can catch a ball, you can become a multi-millionaire. If you can sing and dance, you can become a multi-millionaire. You can live like kings and princes. You can live like royalty. Okay? You can create a product and sell that product. Because where do you get rich at? You get rich here in America. Okay, the technology that the Chinese are using, where did they get it from? They got it from America. Okay, everything came out of this demonic place. Okay, and it took so long for America to build up and come to its pinnacle, its height. But in only 1 hour, the Most High is going to take this place out. Okay, fire is going to devour this place in 1 hour. So many great riches gone, finished. Okay, all your hopes, aspirations gone, finished. Okay, there is going to be no resemblance of Tesla, no the space program, basketball. This, you know, you're not going to see any statue here. Okay, you're not going to see the movie theaters. Okay, these different clubs, these different bars, all right, these different schools. Okay, everything's going to be burned up. Okay, these individuals, these people down here, only the elect is going to be delivered out of America, Babylon the Great. It says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her. Why? Why are the merchants going to weep and mourn over? Okay, as we're already starting to see, these merchants are scrambling. They're like, our money's being messed up with. So we have to find a way to keep selling our products, because the Chinese are not trying to sell you the product at these super high prices. They don't care about that. They're the factory, so they can make things very cheap. They sell in bulk. Okay, so they're making their money, even selling at that low price. All right, because it's pretty much the infrastructure is already there. They've been building up the infrastructure. All these factories, they pretty much make everything in the world. Damn near everything. Okay, from cups to appliances to computers to chips to chairs. To whatever there is, to clothes, more than likely it's coming from China. Okay, now you have different places that are branched off, India and Thailand and sometimes Mexico, but for the most part, China is the manufacturing hub of the earth. Okay, they pretty much make everything. So if they cut America off, all right, America's gonna suffer. But guess what? China's gonna suffer as well. And this is literally all by design, to crash the old and bring in the new. What is the new? The new is the digital system of control, okay, in which a microchip is going to be the way that currency buying and trading and selling, buying and selling is going to happen. Okay, in those Moabites, because China's going to crash as well. Their economy is going to crash as well, right? And they're gonna bounce back. More than likely, they're going to be the first ones to take the MOTB. Okay, China. So this is all pretty much like a systematic controlled demolition of this old system. And Trump came in to shake things up, but which is not his plan. He's not that smart. This has already been prescribed. All right, first and foremost by the Heavenly Father, but he has used the wicked elite. He has used Esau, Edom. Okay, the Lord's his left hand. All right, through Satan to implement this system. All right. And this is what we're seeing today. And see, this all these trade wars are going to lead to what? It's going to lead to actual physical war. So let's go back. It says, standing afar off, I read that, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. And this is how these nations have gotten rich. All right, is by making merchandise and selling it to America, in particular to America. All right, America, because there's money flows out here, man. This is that great city. It's that rich city. Okay. Let's play a little bit more of this video.
Louis Vuitton, you name it. But for this, I am not proud because we were only making our wages. The profit margin for the people who are actually making the bags are very low.
Your made in Italy Gucci, 80% come from Chinese factory. They just add the logo in Europe to make you pay.
But this is the thing. See, we've already known this. That's why, like, you know, really you shouldn't be big on these so-called brands, you know, and designer. Because ultimately it costs pennies to make the product. All right, they just put the brand on it, and the people, they're hypnotized by the brand, and this is why they have celebrities wear their brand. It's all witchcraft. It's all enchantment. Okay, to make you believe that it's more expensive than what it is. So now that you're wearing so-called expensive clothing, you feel good about yourself. But by the whole time, the Edomite is making he's shit 80-90% profit. He's buying something for $1. He's selling to you for $1,000. And you got people killing each other, like the Jordan shoes. It's like a demon. It's a demon on them shoes to make Jake go crazy, okay? Because what, you know, the accolades of Michael Jordan, right? But the shoe costs like $2 to make, but you got to pay $225 to buy it. Okay, so you see how it's just demonic. The Yeezy, because the Yeezy shoes, right? The same thing. All right. So these people got demons on them, and again, why are they making these videos? Because the Chinese economy is hurting as well. So they're giving options to the American people to how to bypass these tariffs, because the money still got to flow. So we're already starting to see how this can manifest ultimately when the missiles drop. These merchants of these different countries, they're gonna be sad. They're gonna be crying. Who else is gonna buy the merchandise? Elam? Okay. A Moab? They don't wear that shit. It's you American people. It's if you have an open door to the American market, you can make all type of money. You can sell a rock. Okay, you got people that mine stones, just, you know, amethyst, with their like lower level semi precious stones from different parts of the earth, and you don't have people that buy it from these different countries. Very rarely. You can come to America and you can sell amethyst and make a whole bunch of money. You have individuals that collect stones here only in America. People that collect stones. Now there are certain virtues and stuff like that, but for the most part, you have people that will buy these stones for exorbitant amount of money. Just like with shoes, just like with clothes, just like with cars, just like with anything. If you have access to the American market, you're gonna make a lot of money. Okay, and these nations, they've made a lot of money, and they're continuing to make money. But see, now their money their money is getting touched. And when you touch somebody's money, man, they gonna come out swinging. It says the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones. See that? Precious stones. gold, silver, and pearls, and fine linen, and purple, and silk, and scarlet, and all fine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of precious wood, and of brass, and of iron, and of marble. Everything is imported. Okay, back in the day, America used to be a export powerhouse when they had all the factories. Okay, America was doing so-called good. All right, you had all these factory jobs. You were producing something. Now, what does America export? Sodomy, transformers, rebelliousness, abominations, crappy music in movies. Look how many movies come out. Look how many TV shows come out. Well, the equipment that they're shooting these Netflix shows and these TV shows, where does that equipment come from? It literally comes from China. They make it. So it runs deep. All right, all these economies are interwoven with each other. So if one economy falls, all of them are going to fall. So it's going to be a systematic fall. All right, then it's going to be a systematic rebooting of a new system. The new system is going to be that digital system. We keep telling you, this is what's happening. This is what's happening right now as we speak. Big moves are being made right now. Even destroying the so-called designer. All these businesses are being destroyed. Every last one of them. And the elites want everybody to come to them. It's going to be one ruler. Everybody's going to be tapped into one rule. You buy from me. There is no more of that. There is no more of this. Okay? And cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat wool. You got a lot of wheat that's imported. And beasts, a lot of beef and cow, or I'm sorry, beef and lamb and pork and shrimps, and all that abomination. The fish, you have the fish. A lot of your fish is imported. It's not grown locally. A lot of your meat is imported. Your flours are imported. Okay, you want coconut flour, or you want wheat flour? It's not grown. Most of it's not grown in America. Oil, you want olive oil? You want some high level olive oil? It's not in America. You want honey? A lot of that. You got local honey, but a lot of it's imported. You like wine, right? You like Italian or French wine. That's imported. You like frankincense. You like the different resins. All that's important. You like these different designer clothes. That's imported. Marble is imported. The build homes. The wood is imported. The steel is imported. The concrete is imported. Okay, you like spices. You like cinnamon. You like nutmeg. You like cayenne pepper. That's imported. So the parts to the cars, they're all imported. The majority of all the cars are imported. So you can see that these nations are going to wail. They're going to mourn when everything collapses and America is destroyed, because they're bad. And you could tell they're demons. Okay, they're not worried about the people. They want money, and this is what these nations they worship: money, mammon, and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly were departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her, see, this is how these other nations were made rich. This is how China was made rich. China was made rich because they sold goods to America. Okay, and all that labor was exported to China, which was all by design. Stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, the great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, which it goes into that in Revelation 17, talks about, the whore, the harlot, right? Yeah, she's decked out, but now you're starting to see her filth. Okay, give me a second. Okay, Salakia. I did it again. I left my charger. All right. Yeah, it goes in. Let me get Habakkuk, because this precept popped into my mind as well. All right. when I was looking at that video and just listening to this fiasco was going on. Hey, look, man, big things. We're we're here. Okay. We're here. A lot of things are happening. A lot of crazy things are happening. Unprecedented events are happening right now. All right. And next thing you know, we're gonna be in Jacob's trouble. Okay. Yep, right here. But I mean, you can go to Isaiah the 47th chapter as well. But let me just read this. This is Habakkuk 2:16. That are filled with shame for glory. All right, one time, America was this glorious nation. Everybody loved America. The buying power of the dollar was strong. You could take your American dollar. You can go anywhere. You don't even have to convert the American dollar. They'll just take the American dollar. That's how strong it is. Okay, the Edomite can go anywhere that he wanted and be worshipped. You have these nations that wanted to buy American products. Okay, they looked at this place as a land filled with milk and honey. Okay, you can come here as a heathen nation. Come here and you can make it big. Go to college, get set up. Okay, own a business, a restaurant or whatever. Sell your Chinese food or whatever, your rice and naan, your curry and naan and shit. Okay, open up certain businesses and win. Give me a second. But not so much more. Okay, America, it looked like America has standards. God was with America. God bless America. Right? The strong military. But now, what are you known for? You're known for, all right, your citizens to be drug addicts, to be thieves, murderers, okay, crazies. All right, you have all this gun violence. You have all these drug overdoses. All right, you have opioid crises, homeless crises. Okay. You have people that are working homeless. They have a job, but they don't have enough money to afford a place to stay. Rent is too high. Then you actually have one of the most sick populations on the planet Earth. But you have the most high-tech so-called medical advancement in the medical field. High cancer rate, high diabetes rate. You're some of the most you're some of the most obese people in the planet Earth. All right, you allow violence in your cities. You allow filth in your city. In the Bay Area, in San Francisco in particular, you could take a shit right on the sidewalk, and that's not a crime. Okay. You could just take a piss anywhere. You can, the scriptures talk about in Baruch, the 4th chapter, miserable are thy cities. All right, and they were a glory at one point, just like the harlot Babylon. She's decked in all this gold and this purple and this scarlet. But now that the skirt is being pulled up, now you're seeing all the shame. You're seeing the rotten thighs. You're seeing the hairy legs, and you're seeing the pus and ulcers and cancer, and the ferocious veins. Okay, the stench, the lies. Okay, these designers been lying to you, which we already know, but now everything is coming out. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. Right, you're gonna be uncovered. You're gonna be shown to all the nations. Well, it talks about that how you're gonna be what is that? A gazing stock. Is that Nahum? Okay, you're gonna be a gazing stock. Well, the smoke is gonna go up for a very long time. We don't know how long after the missiles hit, but it's still going to be smoldering. Okay? And people going to look, they're going to be like, God damn. Shh. They're going to hiss at it. They're going to hiss at you, Esau. Okay? Your civilization that you have built upon rape, robbery, and murder. The Most High is going to pay you back, and this is all part of it. The Most High is crashing your economy. It's not the elites. Because the elites, they're in a trick bag. They're not in control of shit. Okay, the Most High is in control of everything. This all symbolizes your end. All right, the end of E. Okay, it says the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee. Okay, and that's the judgment. All right, you thought you were going to ride off into the sunset. You thought that your houses were going to continue forever. Nothing, you thought that the Most High was such as one as thyself. The Most High, he's on your side. He casted off the children of Israel. He's not dealing with us no more. He's blessed America. America has its few problems, but America's still on top. Nah, that the cup of the Lord's right hand is going to be passed unto you, and your civilization's crashing. Okay, and then ultimately burning. That's part of that. That. And then you going into slavery. It's not just, okay, God is going to destroy America and that's it. No. The Lord is going to destroy America. All you Edomites here in America, you're going to perish. But you're going to be born. You're going to be born again. All right? You're going to be born again. So you're not going to get off. You're going to be burned up here. Then you're going to be born again in slavery in the kingdom. Okay? And you're going to serve out your captivity. And then you're going to be exterminated. So it's really just downhill for the Edomite. It's downhill for America. It's downhill for the heathen nations. Even 2/3 of our people. But see, the caveat is the Most High still loves Jacob. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. The ways of the wicked seduce him. Okay, so all Israel is going to be saved, the Israelites. But you heathen nations, you're going to be in perpetual slavery under the Israelites. So we're pumped up. This is an exciting time. When we seeing stuff like this happen, it's like every week something big is happening. This is exciting. You can't contain yourself. You got to speak about it. It's like if you don't speak about it, you don't feel right. It says the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. All right, so this glorious kingdom that you once had is not looking too good. Okay, it's not looking too good. It's shameful now. You have these Chinese, they're cursing your ass out. or there's a before time. I think it might be Revelation 18, or not, I'm sorry, Job 18. Let me see something. Yep, Job 18. And the point is in 20, but let me start up. It says, his remembrance, this is verse 17. You really, that the whole chapter is just amazing. So you can really just read it from the top, but I'm gonna go to the point. All right, but everything is great. All right, it says his remembrance, verse 17, his remembrance shall perish from the earth. Okay. So who is this talking about? Whose remembrance? Who has left a stain on the earth? Who has brought the earth to the brink of destruction? The people to the brink of because when he puts this digital chip inside the majority of the earth, the people are going to get a cancerous sore. He's going to almost depopulate the whole earth if the Lord allowed him to continue his madman campaign. But the Lord, he's going to stop him. And this is why the Heavenly Father is speeding up prophecy. This is why things are happening in such high speed, to where one thing is happening after another. It's like you got to always stay tuned. You'll miss something. If you miss one day, you missed a lot. It says his roots shall be dried up beneath. I'm sorry, verse 17. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. Because at one point, all right, he had a name, and his name in these people's eyes, it was whatever he said. It was law. His science, his religion. Okay, they thought that he was an intellectual. He was a scholar. He knew it. He knew it all. He went to the moon. He made iPhones, computers. He was the big bad white man. He was the intelligent. He was a hunk. Anything he said, that's what it was. Nobody questioned him. But now Inquisition is being made. You're just nothing but a demon. Okay? So you're going to have no name in the street. Okay? Your streets are going to be destroyed. All right? You like to call the lands by your names. You like to change names. Change times, seasons, laws. Okay? He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. See? Your latter end is you being exterminated from Idan, paradise. Because just in a few hundred years, you've pretty much destroyed. How do you destroy paradise? Like this is a place for you to enjoy. But you can see the spirit that's in him is not upright. Okay? The soul that is within him is not upright. He's off. But he's actually in his perfect lot. Okay? He's playing his role perfectly. He's doing exactly what the Heavenly Father created him to do. Okay? And that's be the adversary. If there was a person, or if you were to create an adversary for a movie, look no further. Esau. He just, all you have to do is just follow what he's doing. That he's doing it perfectly. He has the whole earth suffering. He has the trees suffering, the marine life suffering, the birds suffering, the air, the oxygen suffering. I remember when it used to rain and your car would be clean. Now it rain and your car is dirty from all them goddamn chemtrails. So this man, the Most High, is taking this man down. Okay? He shall never have son nor nephew among his people. I'm sorry. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwelling. Yeah, he's going to be taken out. The latter end of Esau is extermination. It says, they that come after him shall be astonished or stonied at his day. Right, because like I said earlier, going to the Nahum, how America is going to be a gazing stock. Okay, they're going to be astonished at his latter end. Like what? What is that? Isaiah the 14th chapter say, is this the man that did shake kingdoms? Right? As they that went before him were affrighted. Yeah, because all the nations were affrighted at him at one point. All right, when he dropped that fire down, they're like, oh no, we ain't messing with this guy. But see, now the tables have turned because the Most High has given these weaker nations that technology, the equalizer, if you will, and that's the ICBM, that's the thermonuclear missile, the technology. Okay? It says, surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not the Most High. Okay, so I'm going to just close it there until next time. Shalom to the elect.